What you have to say for yourself?
What's for dinner?
What's going on here? What's that stink?
What's this for?
What time is it? What's that?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Hey my beautiful people, morning. Welcome back to my channel, guys. People, as per usual, click on the subscription button if you're a new viewer to this channel. Also click on the notification bell so that you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. I want to talk this morning about some situations here in Jamaica. For a while we have seen so many things happening there. Our high crime rate, the high number of murders, our women and children being abducted and killed. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting for me to look at the news and see these things happening every day. And even as an ex-police officer who have served the country and tried my best to help in making my country a better country, I can't help but think about what the issues are in Jamaica. There are times when we may look at various things in the society there and say, okay, you know what, because of the economical struggles where people have there, poor ghetto people, right, being ignored by the government, and them not have no other choice but to pick up guns and go kill people and them something there. But more and more when me think about it, me I say, we see this thing going on for a while now, and it has become a part of our culture. Yeah man, this high level of crime and violence and murders. There are two stories I want to read to you this morning. But I also want to explore what the real issue is, and you may be surprised. I've been doing some thinking, and the problem in Jamaica may be greater and deeper than the way we are thinking about it. So the first story this morning, people, is a story that was published yesterday. And this, I'm taking this from the Gleaner. It says, bus shot up near Meadow Rest, at least 2 women killed. So police investigators are now at a crime scene near the Meadow Rest Memorial Park in St. Catherine, where a Toyota Coaster bus was shot up while leaving a burial. At least 2 women have been confirmed dead, while other people, including a child, have been injured. It happened around 6 p.m. The attackers were not immediately identified. Eyewitnesses said during the shooting, the bus crashed into a utility pole. People then alighted and scurried in different directions. I don't believe that these things are committed by sane people. They are not committed. These things are not committed by sane people. Huh? You shoot up a bus full of people, right, without thinking about innocent people's lives. No. The problem at Jamaica is deeper than we are thinking about it. May I go explore that? Hold on there. The next story here, people. Right? Police identify a person of interest in video recorded Harbour View murder. So the police have identified a person of interest in connection with Wednesday's video recorded murder of a man in Harbour View, St. Andrew. 56-year-old landscaper Everton Peart was shot dead in the vicinity of 64 Melbrook Heights in Harbour View. Peart is from Caribbean Terrace, also in Harbour View. As he laid bloodied on the road, the shooter recorded himself firing 5 bullets into Peart's head. Residents heard the explosions around 10 a.m. and summoned the police. So people, this murderer cold-bloodedly kill this man and record himself and shoot the man. That's one of the reasons sometimes me feel afraid to read the news coming out of Jamaica. When we hear them something here, and we look at the trend in Jamaica and realize that it's like everything is a cycle. For years upon top of years, we're seeing these atrocities happening. And it has led me to one conclusion, people. One conclusion only at this point. Forget about people talking about ghetto youths that suffer and because of Jamaica socioeconomic problems why we have so many murders. No. I started thinking about this thing deeply, people, and I have come to the conclusion that Jamaica has a mental health and mental illness problem. May I tell you, them something that will take place at Jamaica can only be carried out by people who have issues, mental issues. I took the time out to really explore what mental health and mental illness is. Hold on, the people. Zeus, no. Sorry about that, people. Yeah, man. I'm kind of bored, you know. So this is my little pup. Me introduce him in another video. His name Zeus, right? He's a golden doodle. He's 11 weeks old tomorrow. Anyway, people, let me continue. So there is a difference between mental health and mental illness, but I believe that the two things go together, and Jamaica is suffering from both of these things. I'm going to explore what mental health and mental illness is for us to have a better understanding, and why I have come to the conclusion that there is a mental health and mental illness problem in Jamaica with the levels of crime and violence and murders that we're seeing there committed by these monsters. And this definition is actually from the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, right? So mental health and mental illness are increasingly used as if they mean the same thing, but they do not. When we talk about mental health, we are talking about our mental well-being, our emotions, our thoughts and feelings, our ability to solve problems and overcome difficulties, our social connections, and our understanding of the world around us. A mental disorder or illness affects the way people think. All right, so they're looking at the difference between mental health and mental illness. So mental illness affects the way people think, feel, behave, or interact with others. There are many different mental illnesses that can have different symptoms that impact people's lives in different ways. Mental health professionals can provide clinical diagnosis and prescribe medication to help treat the illness. A lot of countries, people, have invested in treating people with mental illnesses and mental health issues. For example, Canada, where I currently live, takes mental health very serious. I think one of the biggest problems we are seeing there in Jamaica is that we don't take mental health and mental illness seriously. We see people walking around in Jamaica every day and we think that them sane and they are not sane. I am convinced that based on what I see going on there in Jamaica with all these monsters, these criminals are behaving, I believe that they are crazy. Them have mental health issues, and I think what we need to do is start to focus on resolving this mental health issue. We need to start on therapy sessions on our youths them. The youths them we are exposed to them something and I get them brain leak. My beautiful people, what I'm saying here is that with all the measures that the government have put in place, the state of emergency, the zone of special operations, the curfews, and so on, we're still seeing high levels of murders. We're realizing that criminals really don't care about the measures. They are not afraid of the police. They are not afraid of government. They are not afraid of jail. They are not afraid to die. So I have surmised that this can only be one thing: a mental health issue, a mental illness problem. Well, the two problems. Think about this, people. If a man can shoot up a bus full of people without considering all the innocent lives that may be on the bus, even though you may just want one person on the bus, and you can just shoot up the bus without any remorse. You can take people's life without knowing who for life you take, right? As far as I see it, a person like this cannot be right. A person like this cannot be a well-thinking person. What we see going on there in Jamaica right now is a genocide of a nation, people. These criminals don't think about anyone else because mentally them head lick. Something lick up or so. It could be some of them see too much violence, and over a period of time, you understand, it start impact their mentality. I think if we're going to really address the crime situation there in Jamaica, we may need to look at mental health and how we can provide some kind of service, right, to get into the troubled communities with these young men, these young people, these children, and provide some counseling sessions, provide some sessions that can realign the thinking of some of these criminals and these young people. People, based on what I'm seeing in Jamaica right now, I do not believe that even if Jamaica become one of the richest countries in the world, that we'll see this problem go away. Why? Because it's a mental health and mental illness issue. I once heard somebody say jokingly that 80% of Jamaica is suffering from mental health issues. And I know a whole heap of people will feel a way about that. The individual jokingly said it because of what was happening there in Jamaica at the time. But I'm going to tell you something, people. I tend to believe that even if the numbers, the 80%, it close. It close, people. Because what we're seeing there in Jamaica cannot be the action of sensible people. Why we say 80% of Jamaicans, even though maybe there is a small handful of people that are committing these crimes, is because also what we realize is that most Jamaicans are so traumatized by what is happening there that they turn a blind eye. And that is also a mental disorder. When you can see your brothers and your sisters being gunned down and you don't do nothing about it. People may just give you something else to think about. Think deeply about what is happening there. Do no one research for mental health and mental disorders, right? And do your own assessment, and maybe you can come to your own conclusion. People, I'm trying to think outside the box here and presenting an alternative. If we treat this as a mental health issue, it's possible that we could resolve the problem going on there in Jamaica. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I think I'm a deep thinker. And I've been thinking about my country and the problem there. It haunt me, people. May I tell you, what happened at Jamaica haunt me. Sometimes I sit down, think about it, and I say, Lord, what is the solution? What is the solution to what is happening there in Jamaica with all the crime and violence? It's very sad. Very sad, my beautiful people. Just something for you guys to think about. Something to think about. The government may need to invest significantly in mental health programs. The government may need to take more seriously mental illness and how they can really resolve some of the mental illness problems we are seeing there in Jamaica with these gunmen, these criminals, and the wider public. Yeah, man. People, don't vex with me. This is just my opinion. As I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not a mental health or mental illness expert. I'm just trying to brainstorm here and trying to see what possible solutions we could find for the problems there in Jamaica. This is something to think about. Anyway, me now waste no more on the time. Thank you guys, as per usual, for taking the time out to watch this video. Tell me what you think. Leave in the comments down below, as per usual. You can communicate with me via my email. My email address is in the description below. Guys, remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Noble Cop. And also, don't leave this video without subscribing. Until next time, my beautiful people. Yeah, man. Peace out. All right.